Rav the Avatar versus WoW Cataclysm. Rav is playing Cataclysm. Okay, let's check this out.
Attention gamers. Long ago,
That's not
a
bad.
young dwarf looking for an escape from a toxic League of Legends addiction spawned into Azeroth, where he would fight through the most hardcore of endeavors.
This is not...
He challenged the deadliest mobs to butt-naked Makgoras, and together with his loyal pig, they conquered elements that others feared.
Hardcore, so
Driven
fun.
to avenge the deaths of his people,
Flurry,
he
thank
was
you.
forced to overcome his own, where he would abuse his streamer privileges to return as a
remember
hero
this.
to his throne and deliver retribution on the mobs with the
he
bullshit
died.
hitboxes that tried to end his journey. He then served the Alliance in a fiery war against Ragnaros, where he would retire a hero.
Yeah.
Time passed, and Rav the Avatar lived a simpler life fishing in the local vales and hitting on Elwyn hotties at Goldship Pub.
Soon. In a moment, Cole, I'll play it. Thank you.
But one night, that would all change. In a
Okay.
cataclysmic event, a douche
I haven't
canoe
paused while we watched
dragon
the
named
video. We'll pause it
Deathwing
after.
took a molten piss over the lands he knew and loved. He visited his past, seeing that cities were destroyed,
Yeah.
and the old flourishing harbors were left looking like Dubai. He studied the ways of archaeology in
was a big
hopes of
flood in Dubai, wasn't
reconstructing
there?
what was lost, surveying the lands and collecting fossils of the world he grew up in. But in these perilous times, he knew deep down that it was now his duty to avenge all of Azeroth.
The Avenging of Azeroth. Dude, watching this intro, man, makes me real. Dude, hardcore was so fun, man. It was actually so fun. Having everybody play together, the guild, the community, the dungeons, the raid. Like, it was just so good, man. One day, I don't know when, but one day we should definitely, run it back with another hardcore meme. I do think I still need a break from, like, the whole thing before really jumping into it again, but... hardcore was fun, man. It was really fun, But I'm really having fun with all the other stuff at the moment. But I could see myself one day want to do it again.
Okay, so my mission to avenge
No,
Azeroth
normal voice.
starts with a request from my homeboy the king who is like dog. I need to call in a
He's going to
celeb shot to
Vashj'ir.
handle some rumors overseas about a war breaking out,
Let's
so I head over
go.
to the harbor where me and a WoW is back amount of people are lined
Oh,
up to
man.
serve. Our carnival cruise arrives and I'm pumped, but Howard is all like, brah, I'm not getting on that thing, have you seen Titanic? And so I have to tell him we will hang with the captain and he can ask him any questions he wants
Oh,
to
they go
calm
with
his
Samir.
nerves. But history is set to repeat itself as Howard is all knowing, as this particular river casino runs into a little Bermuda Triangle action which has people panicking and jumping ship, as this is starting to look like a scene out of the second
many.
Pirates of the Caribbean movie, as our warship is now a chew toy for Polly Wally Octopus over here. To make matters worse, me pre-gaming this with 4 Rhapsody malts wasn't optimal, so I pass out only to learn that they've set up some civilization down here and some Davy Jones looking dude is running a business installing gills on people. He tells me if I can fend off enough sweaty Coldridge midgets to collect some starfish he will turn me amphibious AF, and with that I was now Rav the Aqua Avatar.
Ooh. Dude, type 1 in the chat if you love Vashj'ir, chat. Okay, I actually genuinely think out of all the Cataclysm leveling zones, like, Vashj'ir's the best, man. Okay, like, it goes Vashj'ir, Uldum, Twilight Highlands, Hyjal Deepholm. Yeah. That's it.
That said, it's 2024, and if you want to be a public figure even 60 meters underwater, you need to constantly worry about your image, so my PR team is like, you need to save some drowning soldiers for that good publicity. But the only problem with this plan was that if there was a graph of people who needed saved from drowning and
There's not
people
a
who
lot of
wanted
them.
to say they saved a drowning person, the ratio would be so I did what any good leader does. I set up a pyramid scheme to do my good deeds for me and with the
And
world
you're
thinking I'm a
AFK.
savior. I was ready to fight in the war. Until I got knocked in round 1 by some lispy slither tits who just couldn't wait to show me off to his lady, only for me to have to be bailed out a second time before that Rhapsody malt buzz wore off, and I vowed.
Oh yeah, by the way, little bit of a side note here, chat. I wanted to show you guys this clip afterwards, but it kind of fits in really well. Apparently, some dude has been bugged out and was dragged by one of these Naga here in Dalaran. So he was in Dalaran in Northrend. Then it's I think he probably Hearthstone from Vashj'ir. Then the Naga swim over to Dalaran, knocked him out, and then dragged him all the way down into the sea and killed him to fatigue. Dude, this is some next level shit, okay? You can't have shit in Dalaran. Hyjal kids. Hyjal wife because everybody's getting kidnapped in Dalaran. Yeah, I just found it really funny. I wanted to show you guys this. There it is. Alright, let's keep watching.
To take this more seriously.
Yeah.
I learned to become one with the wildlife down here, nurturing them and tending to their every need.
I love turtles.
I even studied to get my license as an underwater Uber with the hopes of making my new submerged situation feel slightly less shitty. This world was now my oyster, and the oysters in my world seemed to have clamped down on none other than Captain Samir.
The boy.
Howard had some choice words for him, but we freed him and got his posse back to dry land, to which his first request was for me to fetch him a keg.
Yep.
I told him that coming off of a bender myself, I dunno if that's a good idea, but I could tell by the look in his face that he could give two shits right about now, so I did as asked and we celebrated.
Oh, okay. He's having a... Okay.
Days later I ran into some Jamaican of the Thrall Simp faction who in exchange for petting Howard agreed to tell me why that Naga was so pissed off at me. I learned that these Naga joined forces with some Twilight cultist clan of low-parsing pigs who were in bed with Deathwing, and they were the boots on the ground. He said, speak to any crabsman gold to see just how grim it's become.
I will not be a tool of the Naga. I will resist as long as I can, but I can't last forever. Please someone, stop.
Why do I recognize that voice? What is that voice? Who's that?
Stop them.
And I started noticing myself
Is
that
that Asmongold? Yeah, I was gonna say that. That sounds really familiar. I think it's a mixture of Asmongold and Saryu or something.
Stop them.
And I started noticing myself that I couldn't
I don't know. Saryu? Yeah, it's a familiar voice, but there's a twist on it.
even do my own errands without one of these weaponized lizards trying to
probably
piss on
Saryu,
my
yeah.
parade. There's a whole backstory
forward.
of how I committed to some RPing cosplay that I'm not proud of, to learn more about where these Deathwing Twilight twats can be found, but once I got what I needed, it was like Naga. More like Naga gonna stay in this zone for a second longer than I needed to, as people were starting to get weird down here.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
So the second I saw
That's
my
like the episode, man, where SpongeBob falls into like the deep abyss, and they have that little, they use like a little balloon, and they have that little tongue thing they're doing. Oh, that was a good
chance to
episode.
get out.
You guys know what I'm talking about, okay?
I desk popped so many SOSs in the sky you'd think it was a 4th of July fireworks display, until they sent me some sus carbon fiber looking rescue boat that I just hoped wasn't being controlled by a PlayStation controller, and with that my
15
journey in
years of
Vashj'ir
RP.
was over. I returned home one step closer to finding Deathwing, and my next
did,
steps
right?
would either be to visit the dragon's hometown of Deepholm or to deal with the shit going on in Hyjal.
Why is Baron getting back? Like, I don't know. Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
So I chose Deepholm, where I would put my aversion to Orgrimmar aside and share my super secret intel on about the Twilight cult as a way to earn his respect.
Behold,
Yep.
our hero had made it to the great dimensional anus, connecting the two worlds. The world of Azeroth that we all know and
What?
love, and the world of Deepholm, where Deathwing was clearly weaned off the tit milk a little too early in life.
What?
For thousands of years, this Azerothian orifice remained plugged to keep the dangers of Deepholm out.
No.
But during the Cataclysm, it was blown wide open, and Rav's next mission would now be to reinstall this world peacekeeping butt plug to restore balance between the worlds.
Okay. Cool. Get it. Yeah. Get
Okay,
it
I
back
don't
in there.
care what the haters say, Deepholm is dank, and my time here was like a damn
I don't know about that, dude. Okay, I don't know if it's dank. Okay, it's definitely something. I don't know if it's dank is the word I would use.
vacation, but there was a job to do, and that started on the
Oh,
Alliance
this is where you throw that dude into the blender.
scout ship that we had deployed. You see, it was overrun with Twilight twerps, and I was gonna do everything in my power to
Yeah.
get one of them to talk.
Oh, he
As an
jumps in,
avatar, I
guess.
knew to play it cool, approach the enemy slowly, with confidence, and they will
Fast as fuck, boy.
Goddamn boomkins,
I don't
man.
think you have any idea how fast I really am.
You see what happens when you bum rush in rather than being methodical in your negotiations? The proper way was to execute the Griffin drag and grab over a Zeppelin propeller strategy to perfection, and this two-headed diabetic told us that the peacekeeping butt plug shattered into 3 pieces. I'd have to deploy stealth ops missions to learn where they were.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Wait, this is a quest?
How would they know?
But the only thing I learned was that gnomes and anyone who plays them have zero
Is
ribs.
this who I think it is?
You've got the ick. Congratulations.
Turns out
She looks
all I
like
had
the
to
next
do was
boss.
drop a bunch of Kool-Aid and spare ribs in the snow to lure one of the kid dragons, and that clearly hasn't been taught about stranger danger, and hope that daddy would come to the rescue. Only to learn that it was all a setup and that Rav the Avatar is the master of bait, the masturbator. And after a round of shotgun ammo we had recovered the top of the butt plug.
Wow. I don't know if that's gonna fit in the...
A clan of
that's way too
dwarfs held the
small.
second,
Yeah,
but they were busy
got it.
dealing with a trogue problem, a tale as old
It's a
as
big
time.
hole, you know?
So I offered to show off my new Cataclysm burst rotation before heading to the kingpin of trogs, who was holding some dude's dad captive or something. We had an emotional family reunion and my deeds were rewarded with the middle of the butt plug.
Oh. Okay.
The third piece was tricky because it was held by some locals of Deep Home who weren't happy we were there, and so I tried to extend an olive branch and ask if maybe we could all break the ice over a round of top golf.
Your only welcome here shall be found underneath my stone foot.
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't having it and I had to be the bearer of bad news. Turns out the
Okay.
thing that got them to cooperate was for me to arrange a meet and greet with Deep Home Lizzo, as they apparently were longtime
Yep,
fans, and
there
seeing
she
as I
is.
got her to pretend to be excited about talking with them, we were all on the same page. They gave us the bottom of the butt plug,
Wow. He has the...
and together with
Holy
Deep
Trinity
Home
of butt
Lizzo we
plugs.
all schemed a way to reinsert it between the worlds. It was going to plan until some sexy Lexi of Twilight Descent, I guess, has a very strong opinion against butt plugs, and a battle broke out.
Oh, shit.
Our plan was starting to fall apart as we were losing the fight until we got help from a few new friends.
Oh, damn, look at her.
And with that,
Whoa.
the eternal butt plug was restored, and we were one step closer to Deathwing.
Okay.
It was worth noting a few things in my own personal life that happened at this point.
Oh.
I learned the ways of the cobra as a hunter, which would come in handy during my battles. But I also learned about the power of
Transmog.
transmogrification,
Yeah.
a new way to dress up in old clothes so that you can mix and match outfits or rock badass looking sets, and I was gunning to use this ability to put me on the cover of Vogue.
It's full set Andy, though.
Behold, Rav the Avatar in all
Giant
his
stalker.
glory.
Need a life for the ideas. I'm in the splash zone with the brain waves. I shoot for stars up in my aim is straight. I lay in the sand like
What is that?
Anyways, back at Stormwind,
That is like the worst possible matchup of gear you could possibly think of, man. Like, what is that?
back at Stormwind,
Better than your transmog? Hold on. No, I'm pissed. No, take a look. Take a look and watch, okay? No, I'll show you mine real fast before we finish the video. No, I'll show you. Hey, look at this. Look at this. It ain't easy being green, guys. It ain't easy being green. The Arcanite Ripper and the full green mog. Even the tapper that I'm using to farm for my Hyjal rep fits. This is a solid 10 out of 10, guys. This is the green mog to beat all green mogs. Oh yes, baby. Oh yes, baby. That's so good. And if you disagree, you're straight up wrong. Okay? Because this is a banger of a mog. Alright? Very good. Very good. Looks like a 25 character. Solid 4 out of 10, 1 out of 10. Ah, you guys are all wrong. You guys are all wrong.
business with the prince. If you remember, Anduin was the little boy whose stepmom turned out to be a dragon, and everyone involved has some PTSD from it. Well, I vowed to take him under my wing and help when he has concerns, and so when I got his summons that some people in Stormwind were acting sus, I said we'd get to the bottom of it. We talked to workers and no one said shit, but my boy Anduin was freaking onto something when it all revealed that someone was gunning for all of Stormwind to be blown up and the dude was hiding in plain sight. I was like, bro, someone has already pulled this disguise trick in this exact room, and to try something more original maybe, as we killed him off for treason and found a picture of his land that no one recognized, but I knew just the guy.
And between those two and those mountains, very, very distinct mountains, things like this just become second nature. Just one of those guesses. Nice.
I arrived firsthand to see the chaotic zone, overridden by evil. I ran into relatives with the same ginger-based genetics as me and helped them recover from the Twilight's attacks. I trained their men in preparation for a war, knowing that the enemies they were going to encounter were not your typical Coldridge Valley trogs.
Oh yeah.
But with news of us readying for a war, Their leaders sent us what looked like a shitty high school rap lip sync-along dance type TikTok, but what they didn't realize was that their own threats had revealed the location of their clan.
Oh shit.
And now the hardcore avatar knew exactly where they could be found.
Great time.
And so, with our brave hero discovering the hideout of the greatest threat to Azeroth in its history, he prepared to battle the threats head-on, without knowing that on the other side of this portal, he would be immersed in a year-long adventure full of new, deadly dungeons for him to acquire armor and reputation, intense new lands to battle with the Horde over, a guild actively recruiting more of you, the people, to fight by his side to avenge Azeroth, and a chain of dangerous encounters with Twilight commanders that would ultimately lead him to the source of all this chaos.
So Rav is
the
going
final
hardcore
battle with Deathwing himself.
Or like hard. Without the core. Okay, interesting enough. It's gonna be fun following his little journey. Not bad. Attention gamers, Deep Hole Lizzo killed me. A dialogue with the Wownator with the lines. Dude, the best meme in the video was the Rainbow one, man. Okay, that one caught me off guard a little bit. Alright, interesting enough though. I mean, good to see Rav enjoying some Cataclysm as well. Excited to see how he's gonna take on the raids though. That's gonna be